It should NTB-RTE's role to decide a national policy for our orchestras, says Allin Gray. With the recent announcement of a review of orchestras by RTE, the national provision of this aspect of culture in Ireland has come under the spotlight, being raised in the Dáil by both Michael Martin and by Joan Burton. Mr. Martin describes the orchestras as a national treasure and Ms. Burton claims they are an intrinsic part of our culture. And yet we have a new Minister for Culture, Josepha Madigan, who, like the previous minister, is washing her hands of the matter and claiming it is in the remit of the Minister for Communications, Denis Norton, under whose portfolio responsibility for RTE lies. The announcement of the review of orchestral provision coincided with an internal statement to the effect that RTE is looking to reduce the numbers in the orchestras by 31 times staff by June of 2018 as part of an overall reduction in staff at the station. This includes posts already vacant, but the upshot is that RTE would not be able to field the two orchestras that it maintains at present, the RTE National Symphony Orchestra and the RTE Concert Orchestra. There have been many letters to newspapers and much lobbying of politicians during November and December, and the prevailing opinion is that it cannot be up to RTE alone to decide a national policy for orchestra simply because the only two-time orchestras in the country are housed within the broadcaster. The provision of orchestras and other performance ensembles, the promotion of our culture and the availability of education are national issues that are deserving of discussion, of planning, and of investment by the state. However, if such investments of time and money are to be made, the proper stakeholders need to be consulted and the value of the orchestras to our culture needs to be clearly stated. In order to have investments deliver value, we need a national plan, a vision for the place of orchestras within Irish culture. As director of the Irish Association of Youth Orchestras, it is my job, and my privilege, to witness the beneficial effects of ensemble making on young people throughout Ireland. The availability of a basic education for young people in the Republic of Ireland can only be described as inadequate. In many countries in Europe, basic education in the melodic and rhythmic skills equivalent to reading, writing and elementary maths is considered to be a right and is delivered to all young people through the school system. Although we have a curriculum for this in Ireland, it is not always delivered by teachers that are appropriately trained or, in many cases, it is not delivered at all. The vast majority of young people that receive training on an instrument do so because their parents can afford it. Opportunities independent of parental ability to fund lessons are very few. Yet, very much despite all this, we have a thriving youth orchestra community in Ireland. Rates of participation in ensemble making by young people are very high, and the standard of performance of our youth orchestras compares favourably to those of countries with a much stronger formal basis in education. We are also seeing very strong growth in amateur orchestras throughout Ireland, a reflection of the development of our culture over the last 30 years, of which youth orchestras have played such a central part. This growth of our culture in Ireland is something that we should see much more of. Provision of a basic education too. Our young people not only creates the interest in and want to play instruments and participate in ensembles, it has also been shown to be the best tool, bar none, for promoting cognitive development in young minds. But that is only part of the story. It also promotes well-being through the satisfaction of acquiring skills, through enhancing the ability to enjoy, through participation in social making activities and in the joy of performance. This, not only for young people, but for people at every age. When we speak of national well-being, culture is at the very center of such well-being, not only in orchestras and in classical, but in all types of, in all arts and crafts and in sports and the sciences, and every activity where we express our humanity and investigate and participate in the world around us. For this culture to flourish and to work for all people, we need infrastructure and we need skilled people to teach, mentor, inspire and enable. Professional orchestras are an essential part of this infrastructure. The ones that we already have provide huge value in the knock-on effects throughout the country. That is something that we should have more, rather than less of, and it should be a priority for our Minister for Culture to make sure it is planned for and invested in. Allin Gray is director of the Irish Association of Youth Orchestras.